floor is mine. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome to the Living in Light Church, which is an independent spiritualist church. And our Sunday service is on the first and third Sunday of each and every single month. At this time, I'm going to ask that everybody please turn off their phones or silence them, as we do not want them interrupting the service at this time. My name is Reverend in Training Avery Babon, and I am going to be chairing the service this morning. We have coffee and bottled water in the back there, and the restrooms are in the other building on the other side. We ask for a $1 donation. Oh, I'm sorry. There's also a selection of library books in the back. We ask for a $1 donation to check out books that you may keep for up to about 6 months. We have a healing book, which you are welcome to add names of people who are not on those lists. And the opposite page is where you can put the names of those who have crossed over to the other side recently. If you are new here to, let me just keep going. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I don't know why I'm messing up, but that is just normal. We're all human beings. So let us now stand and sing the opening hymn, which will be hymn number 110, Count Your Blessings, and please remain standing for the invocation.
110. So that's 110.
110.
Tempest tossed, when you are discouraged, thinking all is lost. After many blessings came in one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. See what God has done. Are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does the cross seem heavy you are called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by. Count your blessings, sing them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. So in the calling, whether great or small, do not be discouraged, God is over all. Many blessings angels will attend, help and comfort give you to your journeys. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done.
Infinite Spirit, we stand before you in this sacred space with our hearts overflowing with gratitude and joined by a desire for peace, love, and understanding of our laws. We give thanks for this most perfect day, for this new opportunity to rejoice with each other and with our loved ones in spirit, knowing that we are not alone in our pains or in our joys. We give thanks individually and as a spiritual community for all of our blessings. May our spirit family members and friends continue to inspire us, and many love harmony. And Infinite Spirit, be our unwavering companions as we continue our journey. O loving God, amen. Please remain standing. No, I'm just joking around. Go ahead and sit. I like to consider myself one of the funny ones here. All right. We're going to go ahead and continue with the reading of principles, which will be found in the inside cover of your hymnals. It'll be on the front. We read with number 1. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called death is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomenon of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is continued in the golden rule: to do unto others as you would have them to do unto you. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing are divine attributes proven through mediumship. All right, now we'll be going through the healing service.
You went to, oh wait, go ahead, Jerry.
Now we'll be going to the healing service, which I will be leading. We have a healing book for those that are unable to attend the service. If you know someone you feel could use a healing and you have not done so, please add their name to the list now. As part of the healing service, we will be led by Tim Mauro today. And then we will be asking the spiritual healers to station themselves at the healing chairs and invite those of you who wish to receive a personal healing. If you would like a healing but have trouble getting to one of our healing chairs, please raise your hand and a healer will come to you. Please be aware that the healing is about working energies provided by spirits who've chosen the healing mediums to send their spiritual energy through. In order to become a certified commissioned healer, practicing healers need to provide at least 3 affidavits. If you feel you have received some benefit of healing, we ask that you fill out one of our affidavits to help them. Currently, myself, Charles, and Sandy need these affidavits. Please remain seated as we listen to Tim Mauro for healing music.
Like all things, this too shall pass, but the eternal truth is something we must not forget. Don't be driven by fear and rage. Those emotions are notoriously inaccurate. What lies in the past and before our eyes are small matters compared to what lies within. However dark the night, the dawn will always break. So let's wake up to what life together. No matter how we subdivide by us and them, when we learn to recognize our oneness, that's when the lion will lie down with the lamb. What lies in the past and before our eyes are small matters compared to what lies within. However dark the night, the dawn will always break. So let's wake up to watch the sun rise. Dark the night, the dawn will always break. So let's wake up to watch the sun rise. Let's wake up to watch the sun rise.
Okay, at this time, we will recite the healing prayer, which can be found in the healing books at the very first page. And we'll recite that together. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body, and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. I will now ask Reverend Bob, and is there anybody else?
Lynn, would you like to do healing?
Not Hillary.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
I know you really well.
I will now ask Reverend Bob to step up to do healings today. At this time. Hands on. To take his place in the healing chair. The healers will ask their permission for the laying on of hands and will only touch your shoulders. If you do not feel comfortable with someone touching you, please let the healer know, and they will adjust themselves to make no contact. Hands are the focal point of spiritual energy coming from the spirit world and passing through the healer's hands into the one requesting to be healed. It is helpful for the one in need to be mindful of the gift being shared and to think of themselves as being restored by this action. And now I'd like to offer a meditation, and it is recommended that you keep your arms and legs unfolded while sitting in a relaxed state. This healing meditation will bring about a peaceful feeling to the group, which is conducive to the vibration of spirit. Let the spirit healers come forth as we ask them to heal us today. Take a nice, deep, relaxing breath. Allow your body to relax. It is time to rejuvenate, to heal. Let any tension release from your body. Take another deep breath and allow your body to relax. Close your eyes and envision a pyramid. This pyramid is made of crystals, and while pyramids point up, have this one pointed toward you. Think of it pointing right in the middle of your forehead that is infusing you with light and love. Give yourself a conviction of being adept at whatever you wish and giving you the energy to do it. The pyramid emits a golden light into your forehead. Allow that light to enter your body and fill it up with a bright, glowing, golden light. Bring that golden light down your arms and into your hands. With that light flows a gift that turns your hands green, which gives you the right of laying on of hands and brings about healing and health. Forgive yourself for anything that you think you should have done, did do, or didn't do. All you need within you is the God within and the God without. Think of yourself now as a golden light in the dark wilderness. A golden light that gives total and complete sanction and love to so many weary travelers. So many people that have taken up the lance of dislike and fallen onto it. Be there for each other and for anyone who needs you. You will not be drained. In your work, in your business, in your everyday life, try to share some of that light. Share the essence of that golden light with every single person in the supermarket. Wherever you go, let it shine. Let that love, the sanction, the tolerance, the forgiveness, shine out of you with complete forgiveness and grace. Send it out to those in need today. Let that light shine into every corner of your life. All of your light becomes infused together. Our lights spotlight the heavens like the starry night sky. The infinite intelligence sees what we do. It sees what we are becoming. This is our way to show it. Think of warm water coming through the very top of your head. Feel it rinsing. Feel how warm it is. Feel it cleansing, even inside, getting rid of all that toxicity, all that darkness. Rinse it through. Rinse it all the way down the body. Stand there with this warm, wonderful, life-giving force. Warm, comforting, rinsing over your entire body. Baptizing, comforting. Feel every part of your body knit and heal. Keep that golden light with you through all your week. Allow yourself to share it with others. Let them see your light. Now start to bring yourself up with the energy of spirit. Now come back as you hear my voice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and welcome back. I hope you all have had a relaxing meditation to hearing my voice. And now I will read from the healing book. First, I will read from the tribute to those who have crossed over. Those are the names that have been listed on here. If there aren't any names or if there are names that I have not said out loud, you may say them silently or out loud at this time. I will give you a few minutes. And now at this time, we will read, I would also like to send healing to energies to the children of the earth, emergency responders, doctors, and nurses, and then also those who are in need. This now concludes the healing portion of the service, and the healers are free to sit when they are done performing their healing. There will be also another healing song after this.
And it really coordinates with the topic today, which is the discovery of past lives. It's called The Long Ago is Here Now.
I hear the bells of St. Clair ringing through past life mists. I hear the bells of St. Francis. It was there that I was kissed. The long ago is here now. I can clearly see back. My time with you was blessed. In memory I will never lack. You too can find your lifetimes hidden in the mist. Where and why you live then, your purpose and your gist. Earthly lives are our schoolroom, heaven our final goal. Karma's made by omission, not doing what we know. I hear the London Tower door slammed on trumped-up crimes in that 16th century royal jail, in that hapless life of mine. I hear my father speak for the poor in Dickens' difficult time. When father dies, I take my life too. Should have stayed and made him shine. I hear the sounds of movie cameras whirring on a 30 set, acting and happy till illness comes. Clever cut short for a karmic debt. The long ago is here now. I can clearly see back. My time with you was blessed. In memory I will never lack. You too can find your lifetimes hidden grace is here now. Past lives reveal our destiny. Blessings eternally. Blessings eternally. The long ago is here now.
Thank you. That is our original song. We didn't know we were writing it before because of your talk. We've been bothering. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your beautiful music with us. And some of our healers are trained to become commissioned healers, are required at least a minimum of 3 affidavits. As part of their requirements, if you receive a beneficial healing, we ask that you fill out an affidavit for their benefit, which we have available. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today. And our speaker is Reverend Bob Ingold. He's our Reverend from our church. Before we hear from him, we are going to sing hymn number 44, On Higher Ground. And we're going to skip verse number 3. 44, 4-4.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I thought it was rather odd that I came up with the topic of reincarnation when Lynn and Tim were putting together a song about reincarnation. We were independent of each other. Neither one of us knew what we were doing. So, well, I mean, we knew what we were doing, but I mean, you know what I mean.
That's a song.
Yeah,
That's a big song.
And I noticed there's 16 of us here today, which is, we're even with the most people we've ever had. So thank you for coming. I'm seeing new faces here, so thank you for coming. Today my talk is going to be on reincarnation. The concept of reincarnation has been around for a very long time. It is the non-physical part of us that does not die when their body does, but is reborn into a different body. In some religions, this process is immediate without going to the afterlife. So imagine that you pass on, you go to heaven, it's like, I'm here, I'm home. It's like, turn around, go back, do it again. So we actually do have some time over there. The philosophy was understood by the Eastern Indian religions, some pagan religions, Native Americans, and the Aboriginal Australians. Pythagoras, Socrates, and Plato discussed these ideas. And reincarnation in Latin means entering the flesh again. A lot of Eastern religions believe that we continue to recycle life after life after life forever and ever until one finally achieves enough spiritual enlightenment to stop. I learned in a documentary that there was the practice of burying the dead in India along the Ganges River, and usually places where the water is churning. They believe that this represents the cycle of rebirth. The bodies are buried at key places along this sacred river as stopping places for each life. Those that were more spiritual get buried further on down the river, indicating that they are getting close to the end of their reincarnations. Research has shown that people have had any number of lives and can stop after the first one, if it serves the purpose to do so. Others have had very many lives. I can tell you that I am on my 50th. That's a long time. I'm on my 50th life from what this late psychic Sylvia Brown has told me. She has never seen anyone that has gone over between 63 to 65 lives. So that seems to be the upper end. Remember that each life may not be a full one, but in some of those lives, we could have crossed over at an earlier age, at a younger age. Christianity believed that reincarnation was going against their religion and edited the Bible to get rid of it. But they missed a spot or two. Theologians argue that this is not true, but Sylvia Brown says that it is, and she was a theologian herself. In Matthew 17:10, the disciples asked Jesus when Elijah will come, for it was prophesied that Elijah would come again to prepare the way. Jesus replied that Elijah will come first and restore all things. I thought this was a little confusing because Jesus says Elijah will come first when clearly Jesus is discussing this with the disciples now at this time. Jesus then says, "But I say unto you that Elijah is come already, and they knew him not." Then the disciples understood that he spoke of John the Baptist. John the Baptist was the reincarnation of Elijah. In John 9:2, Jesus and his disciples pass a man who was blind from birth. They asked Jesus, "Who did sin, this man or the parents, that he be born blind?" They are proposing that the blind man has done something wrong before his birth. Could it be from a previous life? Jesus did answer that it was neither of these cases. The National Spiritualist Organization does not deny reincarnation, but since it cannot be proven, they prefer not to talk about it. And I was surprised to learn that a group of people splintered off from the national organization to form the National Spiritual Alliance in early 1913 that believed and openly discussed reincarnation. So they were spiritualists with the reincarnation also added into it. Some people believe that they have lived enough lives and are tired of the cycle. They want to stop, but are being punished for something that they have done wrong in a previous life. Or maybe they have not evolved enough to be able to remain a spirit and have to come back. Instead, think of it as school years. Some people complete their education, and after high school, I'm done with this education stuff. I don't want to do any more education. It's over. But then there are some other people who want to go on to higher education to learn more. And so it is with reincarnation. I was surprised to learn that some spirits don't want to come back, but must do so to complete their education. The book Life Beyond by Hans Holzer talks a great deal about reincarnation. Hans was a hypnotherapist who regressed people to past lives. He wouldn't take their word for it and did exhaustive research to verify the information that he was getting from these sessions. And some of it was in excruciating detail. In a patient named Ruth, while in trance, she spoke of learning about her shortcomings of the life that she had just left. She then progressed with extra guidance then on the other side. to the point where she could go back and try it again. Her teacher told her that it was time, but she didn't want to go back. As she explained, well, I didn't really have a choice. These things are already decided. She said that their teacher explained that she had learned, she had practiced, she had meditated, she now had understood all the implications of that life, and with the right attitude. But she hadn't been tested. It was impossible to know if that knowledge would stick until she tried it in the world. And you must try it in the world to know whether it has gotten into your bones. Ruth then asked how they were going to do this. The teacher replied, you have to be a baby. And Ruth replied, but I don't want to be a baby. There's nothing dignified about being a baby. Ruth then remembered that she went into sleep and then having a sensation of diving or spinning, and the next thing she knew, she was crying in her mother's arms. And now you know why babies cry. I don't want to be here. It is not such a great sacrifice to be born again when measured against our eternal lives as spirits. A 90-year span of time on earth may seem like a long time as we sit here on this side. But once we return, it is no more than a semester of education, if even that. And with the building up of experiences with each lifetime, we become wiser and wiser. With this wisdom, we can do more over on the other side. We can teach others and know what we are talking about. No one can accuse us of saying, oh, you just read that in a book somewhere. No, we've lived it. An example of this is with my own father. Through a medium, I learned that my dad was helping a group of people on the other side after his passing. This group was very mistrusting of others, but they trusted my dad because he'd been in the Navy like they had. So you see how, with his military experience, he was able to break through barriers. And he wouldn't have been able to do that if he hadn't experienced a life being in the Navy. So what are the lessons that we learn? There are so many that it is impossible to get very many in one lifetime. And that's why we incarnate so many times. I would like to share you a couple of my lifetimes in the past. I had taken some classes in hypnosis and so had to be a patient for some of the other students. And it was difficult to get any information other than what I saw at the moment in several lives. It wasn't very helpful because it was like getting a postcard. It's like, here's the postcard, and I look at it, it's like, I don't know any of these people in this postcard. It's like, I don't, what does this mean? I don't know. So it was a little frustrating because I wasn't getting the information that a lot of people do when they go into regressions. But I found out Reverend Sandy Deckinger had led some of us in a past life regression in Zoom classes. And I didn't think it was going to work, but it did. And I got a lot of details in these meditations, which really surprised me. So I had a life in England in the 1700s in a prison, but I worked there. I wasn't a prisoner because I would prepare the cells and help escort the prisoners with the guard into these cells where they were going to spend their sentence. I was not treated very well by my coworkers because I remember in a scene, it was mealtime and I went to a room that had a big round table and some of my coworkers were sitting there eating, and one grabbed a chicken drumstick and just threw it at me on the floor. And I was thinking, that wasn't a very nice thing to do. But apparently that's the way it was. That lesson was about enduring a mundane life. So that was the lesson. In another life, I was a guru in India, and I helped an orphan and would read from casting of sticks for those that came seeking a reading for a fee. That life was about being of service to others. In another, I was a World War II bomber pilot, shot down behind enemy lines and captured. I was tortured to death. It was like, it wasn't a very fun thing, but I wasn't feeling any pain. It was like watching a movie. When I passed, I was still freaked out, on my knees, and my spirit guide was calming me down. Now, this is the interesting part. Once I'd been calmed down, 3 spirits appeared. They were all wearing this elaborate costumes and with headgear and everything, and they started taking the headgear off. And they said, we were just in a play. The play is now ended. So now we're taking off our costumes. Just like you were in a play, you were a prisoner. That play is ended, so now you can take off your costume. And I thought that was a very interesting way of explaining things. They gave like a demonstration to me, show me it's over now. Whatever trauma you experience, it's over, it's done with now. So I have one more that also contains a pearl of wisdom. I attended, oh yeah, I should probably tell you that, what would be the life lesson from something like that? Well, it turns out in that life, I was well-to-do. I had money, I could do what I wanted, I had very nice things, and I thought of myself as being very important, more important than other people. And then going through that process of being tortured showed me, no, you're not special. So that was the lesson for that life. But in this, the last one, which contains a pearl of wisdom, I had attended a psychic fair recently and had attended a lecture on past lives. And the instructor led us all in a meditation to the past. I had a past life as a cowboy. I was in the Southwest and I was wearing a three-piece suit, which is kind of unusual for a cowboy. But I was working for the government. And I think I was working for the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So I had gone to an Indian, did I mess up? Oh well. I had gone to an Indian reservation. And while I was there, the Indians were showing me things. They had this dirt, they're pointing to the ground, they're scooping it up, showing me this dirt. So I understood that they've been forced to live in this reservation where they can't grow anything because the dirt's so terrible. And so I took some of that dirt with me to take it back to officials who I reported to at a cavalry fort. I went to a cavalry fort. And then we showed this scene where I was standing before this government official, and he was sitting behind his desk, and I was upset because I knew that they weren't going to do anything to help these Indians. And so I took this dirt and I threw it on his desk, and I pointed to it. I was like, this is what they have to live on. And basically the response was, well, we'll look into it. And I knew they weren't going to do anything. So then our teacher, our instructor, told us advance us to the last day of our lives. And I remember I was wearing my three-piece suit, I was laying in a cot, and I was sick, I was coughing, and I was coughing up blood. I was like, okay, so I'm sick, that's probably the way I'm going to go. And then she says, okay, move beyond that. What was the lesson for this life? And I was disgusted because I didn't learn anything from this life. And it's like I tried to do something and I couldn't get it done. And it's like it was a waste of time. I was told, no, it wasn't. It's like you may not have been able to help the natives, but you helped build your character. So that's just a lesson for us all, that even though things may not be going the way that we think they should be going, we're still learning something from it. So that is my talk. So thank you for that. And now Lynn Rogers would like to come up and add to that about reincarnation. She has some of her own input. So Lynn, come on up.
Good morning. So nothing happens by chance, does it? And so we were working on a song a few weeks ago, and this was a chance to debut it on Past Lives. I also brought with me today the booklet of a wonderful teacher I had who passed from this world she lived between 1911 and 1986, Jessica Madigan, who probably was Edgar Casey's most heartfelt interpreter. And she wrote in one of her 14 booklets or books, How to Discover Your Own Past Lives. Again and again in lectures, we are asked the same question. Is there anyone who has the gifts and abilities of Edgar Casey? Our answer is always the same. Where life reading is concerned, there is someone who has even greater abilities than Edgar Casey, and that someone is you. Edgar Casey indicated that we can remember our own past when we wish to do so, for not only is it written in the Akashic records, but within our own subconscious minds. Annie Besant, who carried on the work of Madame Blavatsky for many years, was once asked why we do not remember past life experiences on a conscious level, and she answered by saying, "You've forgotten your childhood, though you have the same physical brain now. In another life you had a different brain. It is only the spirit which passes from life to life." If then we are to remember past incarnations, we must reach the memory of the spirit. During the past 20 years, she wrote this long ago, there's been cumulative evidence of reincarnation from many sources. In Dianetics, it was discovered that not only would the subject go back on the time track into an event which occurred in his childhood, but at times she would find herself in a former life, which existed long before her present birth. There can, of course, be other explanations of this, or other possibilities. Carl Jung used the phrase collective unconscious to describe racial memory which is existent in all of us. It was only in his latter years that he revealed a memory of what would seem to have been a past life of his own, which would come under the category of individual unconscious. And through meditation, dreams, reverie, hypnosis, or lifted memory, we can discover our past life memories within ourselves. Through the clairvoyance of Edgar Cayce, there are many references to the Akashic records, or what the readings choose to call God's Book of Remembrance. So again, Jessica mentioned, you can, in meditation, discover a past life. Through hypnosis, my late husband, Joseph Haddocks, who looked a lot like Andrew Jackson Davis, led past life regression and helped people find past lives. It can be through reverie, through your dreams, through lifted memory. You go to a place that you've never been before, as when Reverend Mary Gary was on a business trip for Kaiser, and she was in Nathaniel and Sophia Hawthorne's house, and as she went up the cramped stairs, she said, I've never liked that stairway. So you're somewhere and memory lifts. Unconscious past life recall, or an association method, a questionnaire. And Jessica and Hugh Lynn Cayce, Edgar Cayce's son, devised the questionnaire, which is in this book. And I won't go through all the questions, but I'll just ask you to consider several. If at this moment you were handed $10,000 with the explicit instruction you must visit any country in the world, where would you choose to go? Think about that for a minute. Where would you choose to go? And the answer to the question is the places that you want to go are generally past lives, places in which you were happy. What country would you be the least likely to choose? Another clue. Of all the motion pictures, stage plays, TV shows, etc., what has moved you the most emotionally, and why? Is there any movie, TV, etc., production that you've ever walked out on because you could not stand it? Why? And that would include books. So for example, I was very moved by Dr. Zhivago, and I was very upset at Black Beauty being mistreated. The horse. The things that you fear may be those things that you can cleanse through past life work. Something that hasn't happened to you in this life, that probably won't happen again, but something that you lived through. If you had to be an animal for one day only, which animal would you choose? Which animal would you be least likely to choose? When you think of a parent or parent image, what appeals to you about this individual? What appeals to you the least? Think for a moment of the person who has brought you the most suffering in this life. What characteristic disturbs you the most about the person? Think of the person who has brought you the greatest happiness. What characteristic do you most admire? And all these characteristics of animals and people and parent images are parts of ourselves. And they're the parts of ourselves that we meet from life to life, because whatever we do returns to us. So a friendship that we extend returns to us. And sometimes the things we forget to do or hadn't ought to do return to us so that we can learn the law of karma. And I think of the Old Testament, if you substitute the word Lord for the law of karma, there's a connection there. So just to conclude my short presentation, what are some of the lives I found? Well, Jessica was a wonderful Akashic past life reader and lecturer, but she always reached out to people in need. And there was a fellow who was paraplegic, who was her musician. She made him the musician, and he had readings till all hours. And I asked Jessica for a past life reading, and she said, you know, darling, I think you can discover them yourself. So she suggested praying for about a year to find out who I'd been, and that gradually through dreams things would happen, and they did. So one of the lines in the song is about somebody in a 16th century royal jail. Yes, that was me in England at the time of James I. I dreamed all of this. I was a young girl married off as a teenager, and I didn't want to stay married, and someone didn't want me to stay married. So a woman friend and I, there was a man blocking the divorce, and no one got a divorce, much less a teenager. But we sent some potions, some magic potions. And most people were often dying of food poisoning. So when he passed away of that cause, I was blamed and ended up in the tower, which wasn't a good life to have. So I said, Jessica, that's my first life. Have I always been doing that? And she said, I have a feeling that you've had a lifetime back in the church, maybe in a convent. And I was led very strongly to one in Assisi long ago. And it went on. So when I talked in the song about a father who tried to help the poor, I had very strong dreams and synchronicity that led me to be the youngest daughter of a socialist in Dickens, England, who actually saw all of the child labor and the death of children in his family. And so I was helping translate for that cause and work on women's vote and so forth. But when he died, I had gotten involved with a man in the socialist group who was kind of a womanizer and not the greatest guy. And so we lived together without being married for the longest time. And then he decided to marry a local actress. And he left. There was a dog that had rabies in the neighborhood. He left out a poison. And after he left that night, melodramatically, I took the poison. But there was no 911 to call. I was gone. And so that created a lifetime of suicide karma, which Jessica said can bring you into a period where you have some loneliness or lack of connection because you were needed and you left that life. But I think I've worked that through. And so I had a life just after it in films early on in the film industry, and it was wonderful, and I was helping co-create films and music, and it was just at a height. And then my own system, maybe because of the hair coloring that was pretty poisonous in those days, I developed a kidney poisoning and I was gone. So, you know, we come and we go, but our destiny is really the talent and our soul purpose. That continues from life to life. We enrich and we go along in the journey of many lives. So I just wanted to share with you a little bit about Jessica Madigan, and I'm just going to give this to Bob to read for a while. It's a rare old booklet, and more ideas are coming. So we're eternal beings. We're going on a journey, and these are like stage plays where we play a role and then we move forward. But our essence remains with us, and as we apply our spiritual principles and listen to the angels and our Creator, we progress into grace. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Those went together.
Okay. Well, thank you. That is a very special treat about very special treats. So we are now going to go for we're now going to ask for donations to our church collection basket. This money goes towards the rent of the space and any other expenses that we incur. The gift is great. Your gift is greatly appreciated.
Where's Charles O'Neill?
I know. Great Spirit, we accept these gifts of love that help us in continuing the promulgation of spiritualism. We ask your blessing upon these gifts and these cheerful givers who seek to assist us in keeping this center as a lighthouse for the seekers of truth. In the name of God, amen. Okay, so for the next, so the speaker for the next service is who?
Probably going to be Sandy.
It's going to be Sandy?
Well, we don't know for certain.
Okay. All right, so we'll keep that in mind. So the invitation to the membership, we have an invitation to the membership. It's $15 annually with right to vote in elections. Isn't that awesome? And books and lecture at the back of the table, brochures and flyers, special occasion. We have a seance and membership circle classes. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Is that going on now, or it's on the break?
I just put out the email yesterday for the people that are on the list.
Oh.
There's so people that are interested, it's we have a sign-up sheet for going to a seance. We've had people that are interested, and I put out the email to decide what would be the best time to do it. It's probably going to be on a Saturday. It's either going to be in San Francisco or here in San Jose. Most likely it's going to happen in San Jose because I'm pretty sure not everybody's going to want to go all the way up to San Francisco. But then that means Sandy has to come down here. But she doesn't mind. She doesn't mind that. And speaking of Sandy, she couldn't make it to today because she had a previous engagement to do a lecture on Zoom at another church. And so she wasn't going to be able to do that and make it down here at the same time. Then last night I got an email. She might have COVID. I know. She had attended.
What's going around?
Yeah, she had attended a conference or a convention, and somebody there tested positive. And she says, "I'm starting to feel symptoms." And I hope it's not it, but it might be. So probably today we'll find out a little bit more. But we put her name on the healing list.
Will she be having the Zoom class that she was having on Wednesdays?
She hasn't restarted that yet. But yeah, it will. Because I'm sure you're on the list, so you're going to get the email for it. So, okay.
And she said around September she'd restart.
Yes, I think so. And it's August, so we got a month yet. I also wanted to announce that there's a gentleman that I write to occasionally. He's in San Quentin right now. I work for another church, the Silver Brown Church, and I go there one day a week, and he sends letters because he's interested in philosophy, and I've sent him a couple books. He's looking for pen pals. So I don't know if anybody here would be interested in writing with him. His name is Stephen Michaels, and if you are interested in participating in that, go ahead and give me contact me after the service, and I will connect you with his address. I'll give you his address so you can start writing to him too. He never told me why he was in prison, but when he sought to get pen pals, I said, "Well, somebody's going to ask what you're in prison for." And he said it was robbery. So he told me that, and he's very sorry for it. He's not going to get out until he's scheduled to come out in 2035. So he's been in there a long time. Psychically, I think it's going to be 3 years earlier. There's he might get an early parole. He's so I'm getting 2032. But that's still a long time, so he's in there. So he's getting pretty antsy. But he's doing a lot of good things there. He's taking all the classes they can offer over there. He's also volunteered to become, they have dorms over there. And it's and he cleans it. And he gets it's $10 a month for doing that. but he's doing that, so he's doing a lot of good things. So hopefully, he's just doing good. Let's put it that way. Okay. I also wanted to bring up, there's going to be a class on finances. The UCM Church has a Reverend Joan Stutz. Thank you. She's going to be teaching a class on Zoom about finances, everything in finances, from balancing your checkbook all the way up to investing in the stock market. It's going to be in 4 different installments, so there'll be 4 different classes, but she is charging $82 for this. So again, if you are interested, go ahead and let me know after church, and I will connect you with her email address. She hasn't scheduled it yet, but it's coming up. So if you're interested in that. I also wanted to just share, would anyone here should be having a church picnic? Because I brought it up. Yeah, I knew you were.
After the Zoom period or outside.
Well, it'd probably be after church. We wouldn't be able to hold it here, so we'd have to go to a park. There's a park over here this way. It's probably about a mile away, but it's a new park. The trees haven't been developed, so there's no shade. Then there's another park that I saw going the other way, go up 85 for a little bit, maybe 4 miles, and it does have mature trees and barbecue pits and stuff like that. I looked at it. So if anyone would, do you think that'd be something worthwhile for the group to hold after church? After church is over, we close up and we all go over there?
Is that the Almaden Park you're talking
No, not out there. It's before that. Before it's on Callahan. Yeah, I think it's called the Hayward Park, I think. What was that, Lisa?
Find out if it allows dogs, some are not dog friendly.
Oh, gee, I didn't see any signs for that. Huh. Okay, I'll have to look into it more. But I would think so. There's a kids park there, so it's like if you're into the swings and the slides, they have that there. Okay. Well, we'll see if people are. So I'll bring it up again at the next church service. And one last item I want to bring up is scam mail. It's like there's a lot of scam mail going around, and it's getting stupid now. Again, I work at this Silver Ground Church, and so I'm always getting some kind of scam mail that I dump. But it's the same guy that sent four or five different emails, like almost one right after the other. One was for a Malaysian prince who's got $15 billion locked up, and he wants me to help him get it out. Oh, thank you so much. And then following that, the Capital One says that they just paid $16,000 for an auto repair bill or something like that. And I'm like, what? Because we don't even have Capital One. And they said, oh, if this wasn't you, please click here. And then the one right after that was for Chase Bank. It says, oh, it's like $12,000 were spent on this thing. If this wasn't you, click here. Well, you can put your mouse over the cursor and it shows you the address. The address for all 4 or 5 of these emails that I got is the same person. And it's like, they're just throwing things on the wall and see what will stick. And it reminded me of Saturday Night Live. They did a skit a long time ago when the Jaws movies were popular. And there's a woman sitting in her New York apartment, and there's a knock at the door. It's like, who is it? Land shark. Land shark? What's a land shark? So she opens it up. There's somebody dressed up in a full-length shark costume, and it's like attacks her. Ah! So a little while later on, they show the same skit again. She's sitting there, knock, knock. Who's there? Land shark. Oh no, I'm not falling for that. Pizza delivery. Oh, pizza! She opens the door, gets it again. So that's what the scam stuff feels like. They're just throwing anything out. So I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah. So this is the first Sunday. And on the first Sunday, we do spirit messages. And so I'm sure that Avery will be participating?
Yes, I will.
Okay, I will participate. Lynn, you would like to participate? Okay. And that's where we're going to reach out to people in the congregation. There's a lot here. There's a lot of people here. I might as well go first, and I'll try to get messages. I have to go to you. It's like, because you came up here to do the healing. It's like, is it all right? Would you like to get a message? Okay, because you're really standing out for me. You're a big guy too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm focusing on your manliness. It's like lifting things, like lifting anvils and things like that. So there's strength. So there's strength with you, but then I see you picking up flowers too. So there's a sensitive side to you as well. So I see you in a park. You're looking off to your right. You're looking to your right. Something's got your attention. There's some kind of activity going on that has you concerned. And what is this in regard to? Relationships, family. I don't know why, but I'm getting something about finance or some concern with finances, because finances came stronger. Check into your finances to make sure that everything's going okay. If there's some kind of deal that you're doing, something to do with the money, double check to make sure that everything's okay, that all the boxes are checked off, because I see some kind of problem. There's some kind of activity like almost a crime kind of thing, some deviousness going on. So, and if this hasn't happened yet, again, I was talking about spam emails. You may be getting some of those, so be cautious. Be cautious. It's something to do with your finances. And then you go back to watering flowers. So I think it'll be taken care of. It's like you just keep your guard up, you'll get through it just fine, and you can go back to what you were doing. And so that's the message that I have for you, okay? Okay. I want to go to you.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. I think I touched on this before. You're tired. You need to relax. You need to take a break. You need to make sure that you're eating the good stuff, the good food. You're eating a proper diet. Because I just feel this tiredness with you. You're trying to help take on the world. You're trying to help take care of all these things, and it's just taking too much. It's wreaking havoc with you. You need to take a break. You need to slow down. You need to choose your fights and not fight everybody. Just pick the most important ones, and the others are just going to have to sit on the sidelines until you're ready to deal with it. That's what I'm getting with you, okay? Okay, don't take it all on. It's just too much. Okay? I'll do 2 more. I want to come to you. Is that all right? Okay. You have that pale green shirt on. I've got a shirt like that on. I wanted to wear that today, but it blends too close with my khaki pants. And so I thought, it's too bland. But I'm focusing on that green. It's almost like an army green. Okay, why am I focusing on the green? Green, green, green. It's this pale green. There's a rich green for healing, but this is paler. So plants that have that pale color of green aren't getting enough water. So they need more water. For you, there's something that you need to do in order to get that pale green to become richer, more green, more vibrant. Is it diet? No, it's more spiritual. It's more of a spiritual nature. You should probably do more meditating. You do the music and that really helps a lot, but there's something else. There's something else you need to add to that. Again, you should probably relax like Yvonne. But I feel it's more along the lines of meditation. So that you just calm yourself, breathe, and relax yourself. And then I see the pale green shirt getting greener. So I think that's what you need to focus on. And I hope that makes sense to you. Okay. Okay. And one more. I want to go to one of these guys. I want to go. Can I come to you, please? Okay, Lynn. You're out there. You're doing things. You're alive. You're perked up. It's like you don't have a pale green shirt. So you're in a good place. You're following your path. You're doing the right things. The health issues that you have come and go, and they're going to continue to come and go. But it's how you deal with it. And it's like you don't let it get you down. Like this is the end of the world. Get into a depressed mood. You just power through it. Power through it. You come out the other side like you always do. You always come through. So every time you get to that state, just know it's temporary. You come through the other side, and you're good to go. You're good to run again. Take that opportunity when those things happen to you. Take that time to just relax. Just let go. You don't need to be working at that time. Just relax. Let your body rebuild itself. You come out of it and you're good to go. It's like recharging your batteries, although it may not feel like it. but it's giving you pause to slow down, because I can see you're the kind of person that keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going until you're worn out. So these are the breaks. These are the breaks that you need. And that's the message. Okay? Okay. Avery, would you like to come up?
Sure, that's fine.
Don't forget Lynn's coming up.
Lynn's coming up?
Yeah,
I know,
yeah.
she's coming up afterwards. Just kidding. Good morning, family.
Good morning, everyone.
Always a blessing and a pleasure to serve Spirit. I have so many. How many can I get today?
We have quite a few. Is that 5?
5 or 6? Perfect. Gentlemen with the hats. I know you've already had a message, but after church, may I speak with you after church?
Sure.
Perfect, because I have someone who keeps stepping in and they keep giving me this message for you. And when I get that, I always have to come to them. Okay? The one next to you, I keep forgetting your name, but I know you've been here before. Hello!
Hi, how are you?
Hi, it's good to see you again. Good. I'm getting, and I always get what I get, okay? And I'm going to give you what I get. This person, actually, I'm not getting the spirit right now, but I'm getting the time is now. Do you understand what I'm saying when they say this? They say the time is now. And let me see what they are saying by the time is now. It's whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, the time is now. There's something that you need to be doing, and it's now. There's something you have to be doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. There's something that you've been putting off, and it's time that you stop putting it off. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you. Hello there. This is a grandfather that's stepping in. There's that male rated vibration that's directly behind you. And he's coming through on the father's side of the house. That is where he steps in, is on the father's side of the house. He's got that grayish hair. He's got a thicker build, okay? And he stands directly behind you. He says the dreams have been continuously coming in. Does that make sense to you again? No, they don't make sense? It's because you haven't been paying attention, okay? But pay attention to the dreams, because they're still coming in. You're very sensitive. Okay, meaning you are like me, Bob, and a couple other people. You are very aware of spirit. You all are also you are aware of things that are about to happen. Does that make sense to you? Okay, you know when things are about to happen. Okay, and he's telling me to tell you this because that is the next step for you. And he says the time is now. And I keep seeing that it's almost time for you to stand up, because it's like I see you wanting to stand up. It's like you're trying to stand up for something, okay? So do it, okay? But you are second guessing yourself or something like that, okay? But you have to push yourself away from. There's a few people that you have to push yourself away from, because these few people, and I want to say it's 2 people in particular that you have to push yourself away from, because they are not good for you. Okay? You got to leave them. And this will help you to bring your energy back up. Okay? I'm going to give that to you, love and blessings. And this person is like showing me a cigar for some reason. And that could be, would you understand that? No? Okay. This could, sometimes when they show me that shows, it signifies like a celebration of some sort, like they're celebrating for you or something like that, okay? So I'm going to give that to you, okay? Love and blessings. God bless you. I'm being pulled to.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. I've got your mother with you.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
As she steps in, she's directly behind you. She places her hands on your shoulder. She wants to tell you how much she loves you, and she's just supporting you. Have you been having like coughing or anything like that, or some kind of respiratory issues?
A little bit of throat tickle.
Okay. That's where she's been showing me. She's been showing me something with like respiratory or something like that in that area. She's kind of sending some healing. She's been showing me that you've been needing some healing, so she's been sending some healing, and also some emotional support.
Wonderful.
Would that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she also wants to tell you how much she loves you, and that wants to remind you that everything is going in the direction that that it needs to be going in, even though it feels like it's going very slow. Okay, can you understand that? It feels like it's going slow, but it's going in the right direction. Don't worry. It's all where it needs to be. You don't need to question it. Okay. There's more to this. I'm just not understanding it. Okay, thank you. What she says, I mean, it's almost like you're trying to walk forward, but it's like you're walking this way. You're walking kind of like sideways. I feel like you're trying to walk forward, but you're getting sideways a little bit with it. And what she wants you to do is kind of like slow down a little bit and like back off, okay? And just kind of like let spirit guide you. Do you understand? That might not make sense right now, but basically just slow down. Okay, it's like you're trying to go one step ahead, but instead step back, and everything's going to be okay. I'm just going to leave that with you. Love and blessings. Okay?
Okay. I get clarification on that, but.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you, Avery.
Let's see, where else am I going to go right now? Okay, I'm being pulled to you. Hello, yes. Hi there. I want to step in on your father's rate of vibration. Your father is with you. He wants... Interesting. Turtle. There is a turtle. That's really interesting. I guess, yeah, that's really interesting. He's showing me a turtle. To me, when I see a turtle, it's like it's traditional, but it also resembles like slowing down. Would you understand what he's saying?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's so interesting. When I get symbols from spirit, sometimes it can be very confusing. And so I had to thank you so much for confirming that. But it's like he's trying to tell you to slow down a little bit. Okay, he's placing it in your lap. He's saying that you're going a little fast. There's something that you're speeding up about right now. And what you have to do is slow down. That's why he's kind of giving you that turtle. But it's something. There's love involved in it. Okay, because you have to just kind of slow down. Okay, and go at a good pace. Okay, and it's going to be okay because you're going to get where you need to go at the right time. Okay, and it's all going to be okay. All right, you just have to. And I get the word trust. I'm seeing the word trust. All right. And I'm going to give that to you with a lot of love and blessings. Okay. And that's all he gives me. All right. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Good to see you. What's your name? Good. One more time. I'm sorry. Perfect. Thank you so much. As I step into your rate of vibration, I'm getting a lot of energy from you. I'm getting lots of energy from you, like you want to just stand up and run. Okay? Does that make sense? Would that make a little bit of sense to you? Like you just want to get up and run? Okay? And what I'm getting from Spirit, let me see if I'm getting, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But and I want to say it's coming from a motherly rate of vibration. Okay, there's a mother's rate of vibration who steps in, and she is saying that she wants you to kind of step back. Okay, she wants you to step back and take it slow. Okay, and I don't know what it is specifically you have to take a step back with, but it's almost like you're kind of jumping up and moving forward with moving too fast with something. I don't know specifically. but when Spirit shows me these things, that's just what I get, okay? And so it's like you do have a big charge, and you're trying to jump up. It's like a project that you've been trying to go for. Okay, would you understand that?
Possibly.
Okay. I'm sorry that I don't understand what that is. It's just she's showing me. Okay, but in order to get where you want to go, step back a little bit. I'm just going to leave that with you. I'm so sorry that I don't understand that, but again, sometimes with Spirit, I don't understand the messages that come through like that. So I'm going to give that with you to you. But I see that at the end of the road, it's red roses, meaning that you're going to get what you want. Okay. Right now, it feels like you're not getting what you want, but you're going to get you're going to get where you want. Just take your time. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Love and blessings to you. You're very welcome.
Yeah, I think you've done enough. I didn't count how many you did.
Okay.
Lynn, would you like to come up?
Sure.
Okay.
So. Thought you were in trouble.
You must have been a father in a past life. Okay. Let's see. I'd just like everyone, if you just say your first name, because it helps me tune into the sound, and uncross your hands. May I come to you?
Yes, thank
So I kind of get a wash of color, like a rainbow of color, and the rainbow's coming in. It's not as intense as it can be. It tells me multiple talents and gifts, but some are just a little rusty that you can call into expression. And they have a lot to do with your sense of intuition, of color, of creating homes in sacred space. And you could help others create sacred space in their living through color, through lots of other things. And your strong connection with animals, it feels like you've had a responsibility that has somewhat interfered with that, and so that's the source of it. And you can at times then recharge one, and it will recharge you. Really, really important for you to do. Okay, all right. I was going to come to you, but you already had a reading. But I wanted to say that you have a lot of joy because you've been in places like this in other lifetimes, and you have it's very natural for you, and you're very intuitive. You could be standing here eventually. Okay, can I come to you? Could you uncross your hands to say your name? Several projects being asked of you from Spirit. One of them had to do with reinitiating the possibility of fairs, and that's something that will continue to unfold through this connection. But there's another one with music and another one with your literary work. And they're supposed to take further steps into the world. And you kind of know what they are, but you need something to charge you up. Nature helps, some degree of social times with like-minded friends, and little bits of changes in your diet, more green things, more living things, because you have 3 important projects that need to go through, having to do with written work, having to do with music, and having to do with the fairs. So that's what I feel. Let's see. May I come to you, sir? Just put your hands open for a second and say it again. I heard it. Yeah, I'm just going by the... Say it again because I have to have your sound. One more time. Yeah, you have an uplifting spirit, and you often see when others are in trouble or have need, and you really want to do more to help sometimes than you can do, but your prayers and your holding them in good thought is a powerful beacon to people. Sometimes you just see someone in passing who has need, and when you hold them in your prayer, you have no idea what happens, but great good comes to them. So I would encourage you to do the quiet concentrating and projecting good to those in need, and you will help them through the divine and through the angels. Okay. Who else does not have a message? Avery. Okay.
Social security number? No, I'm just joking around.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Avery.
I do feel a feminine energy and spirit for you. You often see it for others, but I feel pink, kind of a blast of pink, but it may not be someone you know in this life. It's a teacher trying to come into you. I think I knew her, and she wants to come in because you have a warmth and a loving presence, and some of the experiences you've gone through recently were to deepen your empathy for other people. They were to really let you come more and more from your heart, from experience. They're asking you to bring comfort to people who have gone through emotional turmoil, and that's very important for you to do. You're taking a series of steps toward an ultimate goal. You'll always help augment wherever you are, but you want to carry on things in the long run that you know to be good, that and you respect the teachers you've had, and you carry that on in a very favorable way. So your car and your karma are about to change for the better.
Yeah.
Anyone else who hasn't had a message?
Glory.
She did. Is that you, Bob? You have a message?
No. We have Joanne and
Just say your name and uncross your hand. One more time. So you taking a breath, and as you take it in, it feels like a male friend or a man in your life or a male spirit. It's like you're breathing with him, and I don't know what that means. You're connecting energy. Do you know who that is? You do. You probably do. I feel like your breath is being linked. And you can help him through breath, doing breath exercises and meditating, taking him in and sending out what he needs. And there's some kind of a stone or a gem that would help you in your work. Possibly moonstone would be very healing to you. Bring your heart's desire and bring healing to others. All right, thank you.
All right. That is, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I hope everybody has had gotten a chance to get a message today. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and do the benediction. May the peace of the spheres of light be in our hearts. May the consciousness of the God Spirit be with us and throughout the universe, bless and beautify the lives of humans, now and always. Amen. Thank you all for being with us, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And again, I'd like to...
You like to what?
Speak with...
Oh, okay. Look with Michael.
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 How do you know?